In this session, I will discuss about logistic regression. When we are discussing with the linear regression models, then we have identified that there are two types of variables which are called as the explanatory variables and the study variable. And we have denoted explanatory variables by the letter X and study variable was denoted by letter Y. And when we discuss about the concepts of the linear regression model, we have identified that there are two types of variables that we can have, as well the data can be have as the continuous or else some as the indicators. Therefore, these variables can be measured as continuous scale as well as like an indicator variable. Indicator variable, one example I can take this as, if you are taking the response for a particular question as yes or no, then we can have the answers as categories. Therefore, such variable can be now named as an indicator variable. And if we can see this in the indicator variable, we can say another term as then as the qualitative variable. And simply we can say as categorical variables or the qualitative variables. Then when the explanatory variables are qualitative, it means that if you can see any qualitative or categorical variables in the set of explanatory variable, it means the set of X variables, then these values can be, or these variables can be modeled using dummy variables. By considering them as the dummy variables, you can still go for the linear regression models. But if we have indicator variables as the study variable, then in such situation we cannot actually model it using the linear regression model. It is because in simply the regression model cannot be used for that purpose. The things that we discussed so far, it is because for all the cases we have identified that y is in the form of quantitative. If we are having the continuous scale, then we have gone for this regression model so far. Therefore, now if our study variable is qualitative variable, if we can say this as continuing or having the only taking two values possible, like as 0 and 1, then in such cases we have to uh, discuss these things with the logistic regression. Therefore, now the logistic regression method has to be used if our study variable is the qualitative variable. For an example, y can denote the values like the successes or failures. Here also you can see that there are two outcomes only for the study variable, success or the failure. Therefore, in that case, again this logistic regression can be used. Then yes or no, like or dislike, or then or any other study which is the study variable denoted by the binary values as the 0 and 1. Therefore, if you are having the study variable as a indicator variable or just simply categorical variable with these two categories as the binary values, then you can use the logistic regression models. And if you see about the linear regression models, the linear regression model can be denoted in this form. In generally, we have used it as y equals beta naught plus beta 1 times x plus epsilon. Therefore, here I am using somewhat different notations with the y equals this gamma plus psi times x plus delta. Even though we have used different notations, but the meaning should be same, where gamma is the intercept and psi stands for the slope and delta is the error, while x is the explanatory variable and y is the study variable. But if you are going to discuss the things with linear regression model, or if you are trying to fitting a linear regression model for given data set, we have discussed about some assumptions. It means that those assumptions should be fulfilled. It means that those assumptions cannot be violated if it is a best fitting regression model. Therefore, but if you are having the binary values as the y variables, then definitely these model assumptions may be violated. Therefore, if once the model assumptions are violated, then if you are predicting the probabilities using such models, then this can have the probability values greater than 1 or less than 0. But we all know that the probability values, if I get the value of p, then the value of p should be lies in between 0 and 1. It can have the value 0 as well as 1, but it cannot have any value beyond 1, as well as it cannot have any value less than 0. Therefore, but if the model assumptions are violated, and if you still use them to calculate the probabilities, then you will end up a result like this. It means that probability, once you obtain the probabilities, then those values may be greater than 1 or else less than 0. Therefore, it cannot be happen, since the probability, the maximum and minimum can have as 1 and 0 respectively. Therefore, in such situations, we need to identify an alternative solution, and then we can identify for the logit model. If we take this p as the probability of y occurs, it means that if the probability of y value equals 0, y value equals 1, then if you take this as the value of p, I will take this as simple p, and if this is the probability of occurring y, it means probability of y equals 1. Therefore, if you take it as p, then we can define this logit model. Therefore, the logit model can be obtained as p divided by 1 minus p. In here, we have to take the natural logarithm of this quantity, and this will be again giving us a model in this form: alpha plus beta x plus epsilon. Here also again we can see that again it is somewhat like a linear regression model in the form of linear regression model, but here what we have done was we have transformed this the initial variable. Therefore, here we can say this model as the logit model. And if you go through these terms, again, these alpha, beta, and epsilon having the same terms as previously, but the new term that we have included here was this natural logarithm of p divided by 1 minus p. And I have defined what is the value as p. Therefore, we can say p is the probability of y occurs. It means that in simply probability that if y is occurring, then we can set the value of y as 1. If this is presence, we set y at y equals 1, and if the value is an absence, then we can set y equals 0. Therefore, now if you calculate the probability of y is getting 0, it means that probability of not happening the event. Therefore, we all know that if you are having two events, we will take them as event 1 and event 2. If you have the probabilities of the event 1 and event 2 in this form, then definitely we know that the total probability should be equal to 1. Therefore, if you still know the value of p1 as p, and if you need to take the value of p2, what you can do is you can do the substitution. Therefore, in simply we can get value of p2 equals 1 minus p. That is what we have included here. Here this p is the probability that the y is happening, or the presence of a value, and then this would be the probability of y equals 0. It means the not happening the event, or the absence of a value. Therefore, here this is what we have denoted by p divided by 1 minus p, and after getting this, what we are going to do is we are taking the natural logarithm of this quantity. And now think about what we have discussed in the previous session as the odds ratio. Now think about if you have presence and absence. Now think about if you need to consider about exposure, and if it is the unexposure for a disease. What we have taken as the odds, we have in simply we have taken these two ratios. Therefore, if you are considering this as the event 1, and if this is the event 0, y equals 1 is the exposure, and if y equals not or y equals 0 is the unexposure, then if you need to take the odds, what you have done was here in simply you have taken the odds as a divided by b. Now what you have obtained here also, again it is quite like a divided by b. Therefore, we can say the quantity p divided by 1 minus p divided by 1 minus p is now meant to be the odds ratio. It is because p is the probability of getting a presence, and 1 minus p, therefore we can say it is the absence. Therefore, the quantity P divided by 1 minus P is meant to be the odds ratio. But when we are going to inferencing about the odds ratio, rather than discussing the things with odds ratio it's as it is, we tend to use the natural logarithm of odds ratio. Therefore, easiness of calculation. Then we have considered about this natural logarithm of odds ratio. Therefore, here we can see the quantity ln p divided by 1 minus p can be now considered as the log of the odds ratio. Here it is because we have already identified that p divided by 1 minus p is the odds ratio. Therefore, if you take the natural logarithm of this quantity, then we can say this is the log of the odds ratio, or another term that we are using for this quantity is the logit. Therefore, if you consider about this logit p, if you write this, if the probability as this p, then we can simply say that logit p is equal to, it is the natural logarithm of the odds ratio, where odds ratio has defined as 1 p divided by 1 minus p. Therefore, now what we can do is we can simply obtain this logit p as the ln p over 1 minus p. And if you go into interpretation about these logit coefficients, we are usually more initiative in the odds ratio. It is because rather than interpreting as a value as p, we tend to do the interpretation in this form p over 1 minus p. It is because here the p divided by 1 minus p actually has a meaning. It is because we have identified that p divided by 1 minus p is the odds ratio. Therefore, if you take about this quantity, then once you estimating the values, definitely we know that the error terms will be become 0. Then once you deal with the estimations, therefore we can say this as 1 minus p. And if you estimate these values, then we will get this as alpha hat plus beta hat x. But rather than using the hat values, I have denoted these values as alpha and beta. And that is why I have removed this error term. It is because once you are using these estimations, then the error terms become 0. Therefore, if you take this the exponential of the both sides, then we will end up with the p divided by 1 over p in the left hand side, which itself means as the odds ratio. And since we are taking the exponential of the both sides, then in the right hand side we will get this as exponential of alpha plus beta x. And this can be again written as this is same as if you are taking in simply, if you refresh the mind regarding this exponential of a, this is equal, this can be again said to be value of e to the power a. E to the power of a can be written as exponential a. Therefore, this odds ratio can be now simply write this as the exponential of the linear function we have obtained as alpha plus beta x. And this exponential, or this exponential beta is the what we are saying as the effect of the independent variable on the odds ratio. Therefore, if you just consider about the exponential of beta, we can simply say it is the effect of the independent variable. It is because beta is associated with the independent variable x. Therefore, the effect of the x variable on the odds ratio can be now simply obtained using the exponential value of beta. And when we are going for the interpretations in these models, therefore what we can do is we are using this exponential of beta rather than using the beta value. It is because actually this exponential beta can be now has a value a valid, or we can say it as we can define this quantity p over 1 minus p using this term. Therefore, we can in here also we can simply identify this exponential beta is the effect of independent variable on the odds ratio. Therefore, rather than using this simple beta value, we tend to use the exponential beta for the interpretation. And sometimes in generally if we are getting exponential beta greater than 1, then we can easily deal with the interpretations. But if this exponential beta is less than 1, then we have to consider the reciprocal of this exponential beta value. It means 1 over exponential beta would be used for the interpretations. But so far what we have identified was this as the logit function that we have identified. It is the, we can say now this as the logit P. It is because logit P was identified as the ln of P divided by 1 minus P. Therefore, we can say this as the logit. Therefore, if you apply the inverse of the logit function for the both sides, then we can simply obtain this logistic model. Therefore, logistic model can be simply obtained using once you apply the inverse of the logit of the both sides of this equation. Therefore, here what we get is we will get this as the P equals 1 over 1 plus e to the power minus alpha plus beta x. This is what we are getting as the function. But rather than using this as value P, what we have done was we have always considered about this logit P. It is because in the P itself, it is really hard to make an interpretation on this. Therefore, always we tend to use the odds ratio. Therefore, once you deal with again with the, if you are again using this logit P, then this ends up with this ln P over 1 divided by 1 minus P. Then this can be meant as the logistic regression model. Even though here we have identified it in this form, now you have a clear explanation for this ln P over 1 minus P. But now if you see about what you have obtained previously and now, here we have obtained this as the logit. Therefore, now this as the odds ratio. Actually, if you consider the logit of the logit of this quantity, then we can say it as the logistic regression function. Therefore, we can get this as logit P as the alpha plus beta x, where this means to be the logistic regression model. And it can be shown that the odds ratio for the quantity will be now obtained as e to the power beta. It is what I have mentioned here also. Exponential of beta is now can be written as the odds ratio. And if you are going to model the things with the this logistic model, here also we have to test for the significance of the parameters. Here what we are considering is a very simple model having only one independent variable. Therefore, I have defined the odds ratio as e to the power beta, and now what I need to do is we need to perform a hypothesis testing. It is just to check whether the beta coefficient is significant or not. Sometimes rather than using this two-tailed test, sometimes we tend to use the one-side test also. Here it is whether it is greater than 0 or not. Likewise, we can perform, it is because we are always paying the attention on the exponential beta. Since this beta is greater than 0, then we can get a value which is greater than 1 for exponential beta. Therefore, if you consider on that matter, then we can say that H naught is the beta hat equals 0 versus beta hat not equals 0. But anyhow, what you are going to do here is you are going to check or you are going to test the model parameters are significant or not. And to test about the significance of the parameters, you can use the Ward's test statistic, and we can say that this Ward's test statistic follows a chi-square distribution with 1 degrees of freedom. Therefore, we can define the Ward test statistic as beta hat divided by the standard error of beta, and actually this is what we have taken as the Z, and therefore thereafter we have to square it, then we will get the Ward test statistic, and we can use the chi-square distribution to identify the critical values. It means that if the null hypothesis is correct, then under the null hypothesis we can say that this Ward test statistic follows a chi-square distribution with 1 degrees of freedom. That is why we are using the chi-square distribution to identify the critical value if you are dealing with this Ward test statistic. As well as to test for the significance of the parameters, we need to evaluate the model performances also. It is because once we are going to model the things with or model the data with this logistic regression models. Here also several models can be used, but you need to identify what would be the most adequate model for the given set of data. It is because some variables may be significant as well as some may be insignificant. If your model just contains the insignificance, then it is not a good model. But if as well as if you are missing any significant variables, then again you will end up with some errors. It is because even though you are, although you are having the data, but you have not properly used it to fit the model. Therefore, what you have to do is you have to check for the model performance. To check the model performance, we can use the likelihood ratio test, which is abbreviated by LR. We can use the likelihood ratio test to evaluate the model performance. Actually, here what we are going to do is we are going to compare these two models, among these two models, which is the best model. That is what we are going to do using this likelihood ratio test. Therefore, the likelihood ratio test can be now defined as likelihood ratio is equal to minus 2 times. It is the likelihood ratio of alpha minus likelihood ratio of alpha comma beta. It is I have used this alpha and alpha comma beta here. It is because now you can see that in this model we can have only the two values, one x variable. Therefore, two parameters are here, alpha and beta. If you are going to define the models, sometimes you may just end up with a constant term only. It means that x variable is insignificant. Therefore, if you are just using the constant only, then we can say such model as the reduced model. It means in simply, if you are using the full model here, then if there is any model, the number of variables and parameters less than this model is the reduced model. Therefore, you can state the values of the log likelihoods of the reduced model in here, and this minus the this log likelihood of the full model. Therefore, rather than using alpha and alpha comma beta, we can rewrite this as the likelihood ratio is equals to minus 2 times log likelihood of the reduced model minus the log likelihood of the full model. Now think about this situation. Now think about if you are having two models. L1 model is if you are having y equals alpha plus beta 1x, then this would be a model beta 1 x1, and if L2 is y equals alpha plus beta 1 x1, and there may be another term. If we are just considering about these two models, then this can be now identified as the reduced model, and this will be the full model. It is because less number of parameters are included in the first model. That is why we have considered it as the reduced model. Since more number of parameters are included, alpha, beta 1 and beta 2, since more number of parameters are included in the second model, then we can say this as the full model. Therefore, we can simply take the difference between the log likelihood of the reduced model and the full model to evaluate the model performance. Since here I just need to discuss about just an introduction for the logistic regression. Now I will discuss an example which is related to the theories that we have discussed so far and how we can apply these logistic models in the evaluating the value. Now think about this is an output obtained for 609 observations for a particular data set, and here it is identified for two models. In here, these are the values associated with the model 1, and these are the values associated with the model 2. And these log likelihood values, it is minus 2 times the log likelihood value for the model 1 is given as 400.39, and this minus 2 times log likelihood is given for model 2 as 357.05. Just seeing about these values, we are not going to make any interpretations. We'll see what we can do with this set of output. And if you see about this output in the model 1, you can see that there are set of variables. Intercept term is there. Then there is one variable called CAT, cat variable is there, age variable is there, CHL variable is there, then ECG is there, SMK variable is there and HPT variable is there. And the coefficients, it means the estimated coefficients, it is the beta hat values, and the standard error of the beta hat values are now included in the second and third columns, and in the fourth and the fifth columns you can see the chi-squared value and the p values associated with these each variable, each parameter. Therefore, now you can see this is in the output for the model 1, and if you see about the output of the model 2, all the other than the CC variable, all the other variables are same as previous, and coefficients have now slightly changed. It is because we have added an additional variable to the model 2. In here actually we have fitted these two models. It is because the model 1 just have the main effects only, but in the model 2 we suspect that there is an interaction between the cat variable and the CHL variable. Therefore, for the final output, if you are assuming that this variable is significant, then we can include these interactions. Therefore, model 2 is now obtained including this interaction along with all the other variables. Now here also you can see the beta coefficients we have obtained. It is the estimated values for the parameters, then standard error of these beta values have in the third column. Fourth and fifth column contains the values for chi-square test and the p-value for these parameters. And if you go through the variables regarding this analysis, there are actually intercept is there, and the variables are for cat, age, CHL, ECG, SMK, and HPT. Here CC has identified as the interaction between cat and CHL. And if you go through the detail or the go through this data set, you can see that here we have identified CAT. It is as a categorical variable. There are two levels, one as the high, zero value as low. And edge has identified as a continuous variable. CHL has identified as a continuous variable, and ECG again identified as a categorical variable or indicator variable. Then values are 1 and 0. If 1, it is abnormal. If it is 0, it is normal. Then SMK, it is again asked about this whether it is actually these value, these variables has their own meanings, and if it is SMK, again two levels have identified, one as ever, zero as never. It is actually ever smoked or never smoked. Age, here it is cholesterol level. Then ECG, whether it is abnormal or normal. Then the hypertensive level, whether it is hypertensive, it is 1 is allocated, and if it is normal, 0. And here we are also identifying the outcome variable. It is because now outcome variable is the y variable that we are considering here. It is denoted as CHD, and we can see that outcome variable or the study variable has only two levels as presence of CHD and absence of CHD as 1 and 0. Therefore, now you can see that our y variable is an indicator variable. It is quite as the categories, only two categories. A binary variable has the variable having binary outcomes. Therefore, we can now say that we can use this logistic model for this data set. Therefore, the output that using this logistic regression, this is the output I have obtained for which has obtained for I have included this which has obtained for model 1 and model 2. And these are the questions that they are asking. For the first one, we can say about if the for the model 1, we are asked to test the hypothesis for the effect of the CAT variable, cat variable on the development of CHT. And here we just need to test this hypothesis whether there is an effect from the cat variable on the development of CHT. And you are asked to state the null hypothesis in the odds ratio parameter, and then you are asked to give the formula for the test statistic, and you are asked to state the distribution, and we are always writing the distribution under the null hypothesis. And finally you are asked to carry out a test for a one-sided alternative hypothesis, and you are asked to use the p-value in the output for the comment on this, and finally they are asking whether the test is significant. Okay, now if you go through here, actually there is a set of calculations, but it is going as a series. That is why all these calculations we can do in a single problem. Here first thing is we are asked to test for the hypothesis that the effect of CAT is significant on the development of CHT. Here we have identified that CHT is the Y variable, and now we need to test the significant of the CAT variable. Therefore, if it is significant, what we have to do is we have to check for the significance of the parameter associated with this CAT variable. Therefore, we can simply say that H naught, H naught is now equal to beta hat cat equals 0 versus beta, the alternative is beta hat cat greater than 0. Here I have used, actually here you can say it is equal 0, or actually we can say it is less than equal 0 if you need. Anyhow, the equality should be included in this null hypothesis. Anyhow, we have tested for this alternative hypothesis. It is because here they are asking us to test for the one-sided alternative hypothesis. Here, since we need to identify the effect, we can say that I told you that we are always testing for this one-sided as this beta hat greater than 0, and if it is two-sided, we can say that beta hat is not equal to 0. This is for one two-sided test, and this is for the one-sided test. If it is given to test for the beta hat less than 0, then you have to include that as the alternative hypothesis. But in general, we can use this as beta greater than 0, since they are asking for general one-sided alternative hypothesis. And this is how we are writing the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis in terms of the parameters. But if it is asked for with the odds ratio parameters, if it is the odds ratio, what you have identified as the odds ratio was odds ratio is equal to e to the power beta. Odds ratio is e to the power beta. Therefore, what we have to do is now we have to test for the odds ratio. If you are writing the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis in terms of odds ratio, what you have to do is we can say that it is the e to the power beta hat cat. Therefore, this is what we need to write for this question. Actually, here they are asking for in terms of odds ratio parameters. Therefore, it is quite okay since this is the parameter used, but it is better if you can write this in the term of the odds ratio. Since we are testing for the odds ratio, we have to test the odds ratio equals to 1. In when we are discussing about the things dealing with the odds ratio, you have we have discussed the things in this form, and here also we need to say e of the exponential of the beta hat cat variable is greater than 1. Here, if you need, you can just simply say that it is less than or equal 1, or simply you can say it is equal to 1 versus it is greater than 1. Therefore, if it is asked to write it in terms of the odds ratio, you can write it in this way, or in simply you can say rather than saying e to the power beta hat, you can say this as the odds ratio. It is because we have defined the odds ratio in the form of exponential of the beta parameter. And now we have written down the null and the alternative, and you are asked to mention the test statistic and the distribution associated with null hypothesis. Therefore, in the note also, in this the previous explanation also, we have identified that what test statistic can be used. Therefore, we can say this W equals to it is the square term of this quantity beta hat divided by standard error of beta hat. It is the estimated parameter value divided by the standard error of this estimation, and we have to consider its square term, and we can say that this follows a chi-square distribution with degrees of freedom which equals to 1. Now we have done up to this point, and we are asked to now carry out the test for this to check whether it is significant or not. Therefore, now what you can do is in simply you can use this Bode test statistic, But here I have just included this just to show about the calculation only. But here they are asked to use the p-value given in the output. Therefore, if it is not asked to calculate the word statistic, then it is no need to do it. But since just for giving you an idea regarding the substitution, I have included it. Therefore, now I will discuss about how to calculate this word statistic value, a test statistic value. Then this can be given as, now we need to test for the significance of the parameter with this cat variable. Therefore, we can say it is beta hat cat divided by standard error of beta hat cat. Now we'll see how we can identify these two values using the given output. Therefore, if you go through, since it is with the model 1, we have to go through the output of model 1. And here you can see this is the values associated with the cat variable. These are the values associated with the cat variable. Now you can see that in here you can see the coefficient of the cat variable, and here you can see the value that you have identified as the standard error of this cat variable. Now you can use these two values. This is the estimated value for the parameter, and this is the standard error of the parameter. Now you can apply them in the equation which I have written here. Therefore, now once you see about this these values, then beta hat value, if you go back, now you can see these are the two values we have identified, and these values are now identified for age, this cat variable. Therefore, the values that you have identified was 0.5978 and 0.3520. Therefore, once you do the substitution, then you can get the values in this form. The values have now substituted 0.5978 and 0.3520 according to the table or the output. Then a square term value will be considered here, and then the word statistic is now calculated as 2.8842. But in the first part, the calculation in the first part, it is no need to ask about this calculation. Here they have just asked to evaluate or just test for the significance of the parameter using the p-value. Therefore, now we will pay the attention regards this p-value of the parameter cat. Therefore, now you can see that the variable has the p-value of 0.00894. Always this p-value is associated with this two-sided test. Therefore, for this two-sided, we have to identify this as the p-value. Therefore, if this is alpha divided by 2, if you consider this as a, and this will be same as a. Therefore, if you add these two values, these two a values now included in this p value. Therefore, now you can write, simply say about, since this is for this two-sided, now to evaluate it for the one side, what you can do is you can simply divide this value by 2. It is because you just ask to calculate or just ask to perform only a one-sided alternative hypothesis. Therefore, now you can observe the p-value, the given value has to be divided by 2, and you can now identify the p-value is 0.00447. And in the previous sessions, you have learned that what will happen if the p-value is less than alpha. If the p-value is less than alpha, what we can do is we can reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, in the 5% significance level, we can do this calculation. Therefore, now if you set the value of alpha equals to 0.05, since we are considering 5% significance level, then we can see that the calculated, now the p-value is less than, this is less than 0.05. Therefore, we have to reject the null hypothesis under 5% significance level. Since we are rejecting this, it means that we are rejecting that this is equal to 0. Therefore, we can conclude that this parameter is significant. Therefore, we can say that cat variable is also significant under 5% significance level. Therefore, this is how we are taking or making any decisions based on the p-value and alpha level. And if you need to use these Ward statistics, then you have to compare this with the chi-square test with the 1 degrees of freedom in the relevant alpha level. Therefore, in generally we have to refer this with the chi-squared value. Then if you see about the next part in the second question, they are asking using the output for model 1, compute the point estimate and 95% confidence interval for the odds ratio of the effect of cat on CHD controlling the other variables in the model. Here this is one important term included in this question. Here we are asked to control the other variables. Here it is given as controlling the other variables. It means that here we do not need to test for the effect of the given any other variables in the model. Here just we need to identify the effect of the cat variable on the variable CHD. This is the study variable. Therefore, since we need to identify the effect or using the odds ratio for the effect of cat, since we need to identify the odds ratio, we have discussed about that the odds ratio is defined as the exponent of the beta. Therefore, now you can see this is actually the beta hat now obtained for the cat variable. Therefore, the estimated coefficient value in here you can see the estimated coefficient value. Now, therefore, for the cat variable, the estimated value is 0.5978. Therefore, you can perform or you can just substitute that value in the this beta hat cat value. Then you can get the odds ratio as 1.82. You can get the odds ratio as 1.82. And when we discuss about the 95% confidence level, when we are discussing the things in previous session, first of all we have calculated the 95% for the natural logarithm of odds ratio, and then thereafter we have converted it into the 95% of odds ratio values. Therefore, what we have done was we have just considered the exponent of the answers that you have obtained at this stage. Therefore, the answers obtained for the 95% confidence or interval for ln nodes has been substituted here to get the values for the 95% confidence interval for the odds ratio. Therefore, here I have included that calculation in a single step. Here actually this the rounded part is the values that you are actually obtaining for the uh, confidence levels for the natural logarithm of odds ratio. But here I have directly used this exponential of this quantity. Therefore, I can directly write down the 95% confidence interval of this odds ratio. Therefore, once I perform the calculation, then you can see that the exponential value of this quantity has to be now calculated. Beta hat was identified as 0.5978. It is given in the output also. 0.5978 is the value they have identified, and this is what we have identified as the standard error. The value is 0.3520. Therefore, once you perform the calculation, then you can see the values. The value of here we are taking this as the 1.96 is actually the value that we are taking for Z alpha divided by 2, Z alpha divided by 2, or in simply if the alpha is equal to 0.05, we are taking this as the Z of 0.025. Therefore, we need to take this value. Therefore, now in the last session also, we have seen about this value was taken as 1.96. Then that value has to be used at this point. Therefore, now you can do the substitution. Beta hat value was identified and the standard error identified as 0.3520. Once you perform the calculation by adding and subtracting this quantity, then you can identify the lower level and the upper level. Therefore, you can now say that this is equal. Once we take the exponent of these answers, then we can take them as the 0.9120 and 3.6244. Therefore, in here also you can see that Here you can identify the 95% of the confidence interval for the odds ratio. In the third one, they are asked to calculate about consider the model 2 and you are asked to carry out the likelihood ratio to the effect of the product term. CC means the interaction term. The product says that it is actually we can get this CC just by taking the product of cat and CHL. We have obtained CC as it is defined as CC. CC was defined as cat variable into is likewise this is the product term multiplied by CHL. Actually this is what we are saying as the interaction of these two variables cat and CHL variables. Therefore in here we are asked to test this using this likelihood ratio test, and you are asked to state the null hypothesis in terms of the model coefficient. Since you are using the model coefficient, now you can simply use this beta hat values. No need to go for the e to the powers. It is because here no need of identification it in the form of odds ratio. Therefore you can state the null hypothesis in terms of model coefficients. And here also you are asked to give the test statistic and the distribution with the degrees of freedom for the null hypothesis. And here also you can do the calculation using the p-values, and you are asked to ask whether the test results are significant or not. And if you go through the answer for this question, here what they are asking us to check is whether this interaction is significant or not. The interaction denoted by CC. Therefore, what we need to test is whether the parameter beta hat CC is significant or not. Therefore, since it is not stated that we need to perform one-sided hypothesis, in generally we can perform this two-sided hypothesis. Therefore, we can construct the hypothesis in the form H naught equals beta hat CC equals 0. It is not significant versus the parameter is significant. Beta hat CC is not equal to 0. And if you need to test this using the likelihood ratio, you can write it in this form. It is minus 2 times log likelihood of the reduced model minus log likelihood of the full model. And here also we can say that this also follows a chi-square distribution with 1 degrees of freedom. Same as previous in the word statistic also, we are using the distribution for null hypothesis as chi-squared with 1 degree of freedom. And here also, even though you are using with this likelihood ratio, here also you have to use this chi-squared distribution with 1 degree of freedom. And if you do the substitution, what you can do is here what we have seen in this model was likelihood ratio is given as minus 2 times it is the LL of the reduced model, log likelihood of the reduced model minus the log likelihood of the full model. This is what you have identified in the equation. And if you are going to perform this calculation, log means here the log likelihood is log is denoted by LN. Therefore, now if you expand this, then this is given as minus 2 times log likelihood of the reduced model minus I'm not multiplying these two. It is because it will be helpful for my future calculations. And here I can write this also as this minus has taken here, but this quantity has to be again multiplied with this minus 2. Therefore, this is now equal to minus 2 times log likelihood of the full model. And now if you see about the output that you have obtained, in the output now you can see that for the model 1 and model 2, now you can see that the model 1 can be identified as this is the reduced model and this is the full model. It is because reduced and full model, it is because now you can see in the model 2 there is an interaction. There is a term including interaction. Therefore, since we are having large number of parameters compared to the model 1, we can say that model 2 is the full model and now model 1 would be considered as the reduced model. Therefore, what we can do is now we can identify these are the values that we have obtained for this minus 2 times log likelihood. Here this L is log value is now denoted by ln, and this likelihood estimate is the L hat. Therefore, ln of L hat is meant to be this log likelihood, and now they have directly given us the value including this minus 2. Therefore, now you can perform this calculation. We can do the substitution as for 400.39 since it is for the reduced model, and now you can see that here also the value is given as minus 2 times ln L hat as 357.05. Therefore, now it is no need to multiply these two signs together, and it is because this minus 2 times this quantity is given as it is as the 357.05. Now you can do the calculation, and this calculation results as these values. And you can see the calculation results the value as likelihood ratio as this 43.34. Here still we have just used that value only, but here also you are asked to make the conclusion based on the p-value. Here you have to when you are going to make the conclusion using the p-value, you have to test it, you have to check whether you have used one-sided test or two-sided test. Here you have used the two-sided test, therefore you can use the p-value for this CC or the interaction term as it is, since it is two-sided test. Therefore, now if you see about the p-value for this CC variable, now you can see that it is 0.0000. Therefore, now you can identify that the p-value is 0, it is less than, quite less than 0.05. Therefore, we have to say that we have to reject the null hypothesis. When we are rejecting the null hypothesis, yeah, it means that we are rejecting the parameter of this interaction equals 0. If we are rejecting this, then we can say that this parameter is significant. Since the parameter is significant, we can say that the interaction is significant. Therefore, since the interaction is significant, we can conclude that the full model is more adequate than the model 1. Therefore, here you can see that in the model 1, we had the only the main effects, but in the model 2 we had the main effects plus the interaction. Here the main effects only, here main effect plus one interaction was included, and now we have identified that this interaction is significant. Since the interaction is significant, we need to include in this model. Therefore, we can now say that model 2 is more adequate than the model 1. Therefore, you can make that conclusion also based on this this likelihood ratio test. And as the fourth one, here you are asked to calculate the mode test for the CC variable, and here also it is saying again controlling the other variables. It is because we do not need to pay the attention on any other variables given. It is fixed now. The only variable we can have now is this CC. Therefore, once we have fixed the other variables, then we can say um, we have using this word statistic to test this. And here also you are asked to provide the same information requested in above question. It means that you need to tell what is the test statistic, what is the distribution it follows, and here also you need to identify whether the result is significant, and based on it we need to say whether model 1 or 2 is the best model for this set of data. And here also actually we are repeating what we have done in the question number 3. Here also we have tested for this interaction, but here we have used the likelihood ratio method, but in the fourth question we are using the word test statistic. Therefore, the hypothesis will not be changed, it is same as previous. And if you write the word test statistic for this question, then we need to tell this as beta hat CC divided by standard error of this quantity, and we are squaring it, and we can see that this mode test value is now equal to 22.8123. And if you see this with this chi-square table here, what we are going to test is we are going to test for a significance with this. Here we are testing with alpha equals 0.05. Since we are using the two-sided test, now we have to deal with this alpha divided by 2. Therefore, this will be equal to 0.025. Now we have to use the chi-square distribution with the alpha value as 0.025, and it gives the value with degrees of freedom for this critical region as the 5.02. Now we have identified this quantity. Actually the distribution should be, the shape should be changed, it is not same as this. If I draw the distribution of the chi-square, it will be somewhat skewed distribution. Therefore you can see the rejection region here with the value as 0.025, and you can identify this is the critical value, and it can be observed as 5.02. And now what you have to do is you have to compare the value that you have calculated, and somewhat here you can see the calculated value. It is now obtained as 22.8123. Now you can see that the calculated value falls into the rejection region. Therefore again we need to test, we need to again reject the H node. Therefore we are getting the same result as previous. Therefore here also we can say that interaction is significant. Therefore we can say the model which includes the interaction is more adequate than the other method, the other model. Therefore you can say that model 2 is adequate than the model 1. Therefore we can simply say that model 2 is more appropriate than the model 1. In the fifth question, we are asking, since we have already identified that model 2 as the adequate model, then we can use the model 2 for the further on calculations. Therefore, using the output for model 2, give a formula for the point estimate of the odds ratio for the effect of CAT on CHD with the adjustment of all the other variables and all the other variables, but it says that the interaction of CAT with CHL has to be considered, even though other variables are confounded. We are confounding the effect of all the other variables. It means that if we are considering them as the fixed, then still we need to consider the interaction of CAT with CHL. Therefore, now you can say the odds ratio as the adjusted odds ratio. Therefore, this can be now considered as we have already identified. In simply, we have taken odds ratio as the e to the power beta. In simply, we have taken this as e to the power beta. Therefore, but here we can see that the cat variable is significant as well as the CC is significant. Therefore, what we can do here is we need to include the beta hat cat here, and this plus the beta hat CC with this CHL variable. It is because even though this size is fixed, but since we need to consider about the interaction, we have to that variable here. It is because cat is now significant, the significance of cat has included, and this interaction is included. Therefore we need to write down the CHL variable. Therefore this can be considered as the adjusted odds ratio for the effect on CAT on CHD by the confounding the effects of all the other variables except the interaction of cat with CH. Therefore, this equation can be now considered as the adjusted odds ratio. And in the sixth question, you are asked to calculate using this formula. You are calculate for the odds ratio for having the following cholesterol values. CHL stands for these cholesterol values for the cholesterol with 220 and 240. Therefore, now you can see that this if the patient has the CHL 220, then the odds will be calculated as e to the power. This equation can be now used, and in the place of CHL, we have to substitute value as 220. It is because we have already estimated the value for the parameter of cat variable as well as the parameter for this interaction. Therefore, once you perform the calculation, now you can say that the odds is 2.5731. Therefore, if this cholesterol is actually a risk factor, therefore you can say that if the person with cholesterol level 220 has the 2.57 falls in the odds, and if it is 240, you can say it is the odds is 10.08 times 4. Therefore, now you can see it is the cholesterol is 240. You can still use the same equation, just replacing this CHL value as 240. Therefore, you can see that now the odds ratio is 10.0855. Therefore, in the this medical study, most of the time we can use these things. It is in the medical studies. It is because based on the odds ratio, we are still discussing the things with the logistic regression as well. Therefore, for most of the cases, if you are having the binary values, definitely this logistic regression models can be used. Therefore, in most of the time, frequently we can see these things in the researchers done in the medical sectors also. And this is what I need to discuss for this session. And thank you all for joining with this session.